Good evening all and welcome back to the Fergie Way with me, Teach FM. Episode 42 now. This will be the final episode of Season 2. That's Season 2, Episode 22. We are, of course, going to the FA Cup final today. We are, however, still very, very much wounded. Absolutely wounded by going out of the Champions League. So let's hope that the lads can give us a little bit of a better show today. Maybe win a bit of silverware. We did win some, of course. We've already won the Premier League. But we want more. We want the FA Cup. And I'll be damned if Stoke are going to stop me from getting it. So there it is. 3-0 loss to PSG. Devastating one. As I say, I'm still pretty hurt by it, to be brutally honest. We've done so well in everything. Cups. Champions League, we beat Juventus and Barcelona for crying out loud, and then we get beat by PSG in the semis. As we can see, we did then go on and play a couple of Premier League ties. We was never going to show them on camera. We'd already wrapped up the league, even though one of them was against Arsenal. So we'll dive in, take a look at how we did. So first up was an away trip to Hull, and as you can see, we did run out 4-1 winners. 2 own goals by Hull. Twice unlucky. Unfortunately for them, we still played very well. Once again, Pogba getting on the score sheet. Martial actually playing in the advanced forward role in that game, with Memphis Depay playing behind him, and he managed to bag himself a goal and look dangerous all the way forward. Now, bearing in mind, that's when Martial plied his trade in the first season. Maybe have been a little bit unfair to him to not keep playing him there. So maybe a little bit of something to think about going forward with Martial. Hull did manage to bag themselves a goal though, but they were never really in the game. They were just not there. To be honest, they bagged 3 goals. It's unfortunate that 2 of them went to us. And then we played Arsenal, 5-0. Martial, once again, in that advanced forward role, managed to grab himself 4 goals. A 9.9 rating. Unreal. This is what winds me up even more about why we didn't beat PSG. We played so well. Clinically as well. We got 9 shots on target and managed to grab ourselves 5 goals. Yet when we were again, right, I'm going to stop talking about PSG because it winds me up a bit. It's done. It's gone. It's in the past. We will try harder and hopefully win Champions League next year. But in this game, we were extraordinary. We were so good. Pogba, once again, was having an absolute stonker. His key passes will have been where it was at, because I know it's not shown that he's got any assists there, but he was absolutely bossing the midfield. Juan Mata grabbed himself a couple of assists, which adds them to his ridiculous tally already this season. And of course, Martial grabbing 4 goals, got himself player of the match, will be getting himself a start in the FA Cup final because of it. So yeah, we have had a load of news though. Of course, the Premier League season has ended. There's been player awards, etc. So we'll go take a look at them. And we will start with the ever-present Juan Mata. Footballer of the Year. Tremendous. For one of the older guys now, Mata's 30, by no means is he done and dusted, but he set up 19 goals. 19. He broke records to do that. So 7.73 rating across the year, which is just ridiculous. Juan Mata picking up Footballer of the Year. Then he added Player of the Year for the exact same reasons. I'll be amazed if Juan Mata's I will be surprised if he's not in contention for the European Player of the Year, but obviously we've got to wait till the December period, so we've got a long way to wait for that. But if he continues this form into the new season, I'd say he's a safe bet. Marcus Rashford winning Young Player of the Year, of course, had a very stellar season. 26 appearances, 14 goals. It's just good to see that our players are involved in all these awards. It's just good to see, Do you remember that goal that young Timbo scored at Hull? Came second. It didn't come top, fair dues, but Fosu Mensah, one of these young lads that we brought through the old Fergie way, the premise of the whole series, if you like. But he managed to get himself up in there, which is, again, good to see. Unsurprisingly so, De Gea, Golden Glove, 22 clean sheets, which was silly, really. Again, the league was such a cakewalk, We absolutely stomped the league with very few hiccups along the way. Hoping to do the same again next year. We are maybe going to make changes, but we'll keep that quiet for now. Manager of the Year. We expected it. We did so well. Win ratio is 89%. 89. Want to know how? Work on morale, honestly. Work on morale, everything else will be grand. Except for if you play PSG. So, Team of the Year, De Gea, Bailly, Smalling, Pogba and Mata. No surprise that we didn't really get any strikers in because we didn't have anyone stand out this year. All the strikers did very well. We had 4 of them with Zlatan, Memphis, Rashford, Martial. They all did all right. they all got themselves into double figures, but never really romped away with it. So that's why we've got Aguero and Zaza up there. Don't know what on earth Willian's doing in there, because Chelsea were garbage this season. He must have been doing something right. Nathaniel Klein of Liverpool playing it right back. Fair dues. Sanchez, who's always, he's consistent Sanchez. Not that I think anyone could ever buy him for any amount of money, but if you ever could buy him, if you're just starting to save, or maybe if you're starting to save as Arsenal, focus around him, because he always does so well. And what's always nice to see is a little bit of acknowledgement as a manager. De Gea did dedicate his award to manager Cantona. Not the first time he's done it. He's done that a couple of times. A couple of his awards have been sent my way. But yeah, all in all, that's pretty much the news, I'm sure. I could go from here, take a look at the Premier League, show you how it all ended, show you the points, show you this, that and the other and whatnot. But although I did a season review in season 1 and I spent a lot of time and we looked at Europe and we looked at everything, what we're going to do after this episode, so tomorrow's episode, will be a relatively short season review. We'll take a look at the Premier League in a quick stance. We'll take a look at Europe. We'll see how the players did. But then what we're probably going to do is analyse our squad. See who's maybe underperformed, because I know that there's a couple of players that have underperformed, and highlight where we can sort of add to the team going forward. So it'll just be a very quick video. So we'll leave the league and whatnot for now. And what we'll do is we'll get straight to match day, FA Cup final, massive, massive game. We need to try and win a little bit more silverware for this season. And then at least that way, that bitter taste of PSG will maybe start to die off a little bit. So here we are on match day and FA Cup final day of all places. So we're down at Wembley, of course, and the press and the bookies are both on our side in today's match. Martial's been made our key man, probably on the strength of the fact that he bagged 4 goals against the Gunners. Their key man is Kalinic, goalkeeper. Always seems to be the way. Have you noticed that when you get key man, if you get a midfielder, you sort of get one of their midfielders? But one thing that's become quite apparent is whenever you get a key man as a striker, their key man's going to be the goalkeeper. It's going to be one of the big battles, I would suppose. But I'm really hoping to get something out of today's game. We'll take a look at the team sheet, see how the selections have gone before we get into the game. So we will start with the team in the home dugout, and that is, of course, today Stoke. They've got Butland in net with Peters, Shaw, Cross, Vizo and Callas at the back. Arnautovic and Bula, Allen and Shaqiri in the middle, and then Troy Deeney and Poulsen up front. Now, flat 4-4-2. Stoke will want to come out there and kick us, and Roy Keane will make damn sure that we're going to be kicking them back. But not very scared by what's ahead of me. None of that there looks to bother me whatsoever. I'm really hoping that this can be a very, very easygoing win. So here is our team, and it has to be said, after the defeat at PSG, losing out on a bit of silverware, or the bit of silverware, the main one, the important one, I have gone for as strong as I possibly can. De Gea in the sticks, Alaba, Bailly, Smalling and Sidibe at the back, with Paul Pogba, Fosu, Mensah and Herrera in the middle, Juan Mata in the Trequartista role, Rashford as a complete forward, and Martial starting in the advanced forward, where of course he scored 5 goals in his last 2 games. One thing to note is we do have Depay on the bench, who's been playing very well of late, but another one is Renato Sanchez. Just back from 5 months out, he is fit enough to play 45 minutes. He won't be playing 45 minutes, but I think it will be quite a nice little nod to try and get him on the pitch at some point. So, yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see what Roy has to say. Now, Roy's probably very pissed off himself. I know I was after the PSG one. So, he has been handing out a little bit of hard tackling as we went into the Arsenal game. And, yeah, he's doing the same again. Mbula's been left out, but we're going to give him some anyway. In fact, this is Stoke, so we're sort of going to give it all of, and in particular Callas and Butland, because they're already carrying little niggles. Maybe if we get the players to force themselves into him, give him a little bit of a push, it might even force them off the field, because, we're dirty players like that. So we move into the team talk, and for once when Roy says the fans, I would totally agree. This is a cup final here, after all, and a cup final we want to win. We need that sort of extra man behind us, that shout from the crowd. So for the fans, gives me fuck all. They're all superb morale, but we want to win this trophy. So we are going to passionately tell them that we have faith. Oh, look at this. There is green going off absolutely everywhere. Dirty tricks, but it works. It works. So, very early in the game, of course, first highlight, we never see anything happen. I just thought I'd talk about the series going forward. We didn't win the Champions League. We're going to carry it on as Alaba nearly scores a free kick. It does go out for a corner. We didn't win the Champions League. We are back for season 3. It's going to be a continuation on the same lines. Oh, just headed wide there. It's going to be a continuation on the same lines. Hopefully you guys will all stick with me. The support on the channel and in the series in particular has been fantastic. It's Pogba now breaking through. Rashford puts one wide. Yeah, support's been amazing. Stick with me, guys. We're going to win that Champions League. Then we'll move on. It's Fosu-Mensah now to Mata to Rashford. As the ball took off notes with Troy Deeney. Fosu-Mensah wins it back. Rashford, Mata to Pogba and Herrera. Mata, not enough. Not enough, Mata. Not enough at all. We are bossing the game though. It's only 5 minutes in. We've had 6 shots. Nothing on target at the moment, mind. As Arnautovic gets one on the edge of the area. Shaqiri, saved by De Gea. It's Alaba now to Pogba. 10 minutes on the clock nearly. He's had it took off him by Joe Allen. Plays impulsion to Troy Deeney. He's done nothing with it. Nods it straight back to De Gea. Of course, one game, guys, we're on extended highlights. We get to see a lot more of what's going on here. It's Pogba now. Pogba again. It's Mata. So Rashford. We seem to be taking these shots from the edge of the area. Not really getting very close. Not really getting very close at all. We will just give them a little bit of a shout, a little bit of a team talk. We are going to assertively demand more. I was asked a question the other day about why I don't encourage, and I may as well add it in the video as well. I don't encourage players when I'm at a big team because they're earning a lot of money. They're very intelligent footballers. Herrera to Pogba. They're very intelligent footballers. They're earning a lot of money. So as a manager, I play an assertive role because I want them to know that if they don't buck up, they won't get in the team. So you'll see often my shout-outs, my team talks are assertive based on that. If I was managing a lower league team, encourage. Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it. You want to try and buoy the guys up. But for me, I bring my morale in by being a little bit more tougher, a bit hard-fisted. So it's Deeney now. Loses out. Mata's on the ball. Pogba in the middle. Pogba has been bossing it later on in the season. He's done really well. It's Martial to Mata, and he's put it over the bar. Once again. Again, our shots are coming from too far out here. They really, really are. It's Mata now to Sidibe. To Rashford. Bailly. Mata again. He gets it on target this time, though. Forces a save from Butland. He has pushed it out for a corner. Mata will take that resulting corner. Mata whips one in. It's gone out. Alaba will recover the ball and try and get it back up the pitch, though. It's Bailly. To Mensah, and yeah, awesome. End of highlight. Wicked. And half time. Wouldn't you believe it? So, yeah. Do you know what? I'm not pissing about this time because there's a trophy on the line. Get out there, shows your born winners. I've done it aggressively. I want these guys to know that Stoke can go on and nick this. Stoke haven't been in the game. The stats aren't on their side. They're on our side. But I don't want to go and just lose an FA Cup final on the back of getting booted out of the Champions League. If Stoke score a goal here, it's going to put us right on the back foot. So with a little bit of luck, they'll start pressing. I'm going to start looking at making changes, go a little bit more attacking if I have to. But it's Pogba to Alaba. Pogba, open goal, man. Jesus Christ. It's Callas now. Pogba's picked it up. Pogba sends it forward to Martial. Mata's there. He's got to play it forward. He doesn't. Herrera to Rashford. I think Rashford was probably offside anyway. But we're pressing. We're pressing for more. Stoke have only had a couple of attempts on target, but I can feel a big fat FM going on here, as they're probably going to end up with one more shot on target, score a goal and win a bloody FA Cup. It's Herrera now to Martial. Martial. Weak. Come on, Martial. You scored 4 in your last game. It's Arnautovic. Into Mbula. This is looking dangerous as Shaqiri's on the right-hand side. Alaba doesn't deal with him. It's still Shaqiri. Arnautovic. Arnautovic makes space. It's Poulsen. It's a save by De Gea. It did look like a bit of a limp shot. Nonetheless, Stoke are trying to press into this game. 3 shots, 3 on target. They're being much more clinical than we are because we just spend our time booting the ball over the bar. It's Rashford now. Gives the ball away to Mbula. Mbula gives it away to Alaba though. Fosu-Mensah. Pogba. Pogba to Martial to Mata. Back. Oh, God. Can see it coming. I've just assertively told him to get creative. Oh, as Poulsen heads one just wide of De Gea's post. Yeah, I've just told him to get creative. We're going to have to try and do something here. And we're on the 60th minute. And if we take a look, Fosu-Mensah maybe not having the best game at 6.9. Of course, Rashford, Martial, both playing 6.7. So I'm going to pull Mata at 6.5. Going to bring on young Callum Gribben. We did that, of course, in Europe. Unfortunately, it didn't work in our favour, but we're trying to instill belief in these kids. We want them to come on the pitch and change a game. Hopefully shit. Arnautovic. Sidibe's managed to pull it away though. We can force a counter-attack here via Martial. Skins one. Into Gribben. Gribben to Rashford. Get in there! That's it. 1-0, 62 minutes in. Gribben playing a key part, but it has to be said, Martial, what's the difference in that as he skins one, then two, and it's Gribben with a first-time ball into Rashford. Rashford had a bit of a poor first touch, did manage to put it in the back of the net though. I'm happy with that. We're 1-0 up, and now I can feel a little bit at ease. They could turn it round, but I feel we could turn it round again if they did that. Fosu-Mensah might be getting sent off. He is doing it. I can see it. Oh, for crying out loud. No drama. Right, so Martial did do very, very well. It has to be said. However, we have been forced to make changes. Rashford can stay on. He managed to score the goal. He's got Gribben playing behind him. We've brought on young Renato Sanchez, who's not played in 5 months. Interesting. But yeah, no, we brought on Sanchez. Pogba on the edge of the air. We brought on young Renato Sanchez. We have dropped to just one striker. I can't believe we've had another man sent off in important games. Surprised with Fosu-Mensah. He's normally he keeps his temperament quite well, I suppose. We are hard tackling, that has to be said. I have gone out there and told him to do a bit of damage. But nonetheless, a couple of yellow cards, not great in a cup final as Arnautovic, Gribben on the edge of the area. You've seen it now, guys. I've mentioned these free kicks. No highlight running into that, I'm afraid, but I've mentioned about Gribben and just how good his free kicks are. He gets a chance from the edge of the area and, well, it's Beckham-esque, isn't it, really? Let's be honest. Young English lad, playing at United, great at free kicks. Maybe we can turn him into one of these world beaters. And one of the great things about this save, him, Gomez, Twinzabi, Mensah, they're the future. As Sidibe now plays it into Pogba. Saved by Butland. Great save as well. Pogba very nearly grabbing himself yet another goal in a stellar season. 83 minutes on the clock. We'll maybe look at making another substitution. Ander Herrera's worn out. We will bring on Morgan Schneiderlin. Sit him in the middle there. And hopefully, guys, with 5 minutes left, that'll be that. It's Rashford now. Herrera. Pogba. Over the bar. Unlucky Paul Pogba. It's by. He nods it down to Gribben. Gribben to Pogba. Schneiderlin now. Schneiderlin loses out. He has only just come into the game, so obviously taking him a few minutes to catch up with the pace, but it's Schneiderlin back on the ball. Gribben, another lovely ball to Rashford. Get in there. That's Gribben with 2 assists. We did say on the 60th minute, shall we bring him on? Shall we try and help him influence his own career in a game? But if you look at that ball, first time yet again, sets Rashford free. And I think it's a tricky one. Is he Paul Pogba's understudy? Mata's understudy? He's playing well no matter where he plays as he crosses the ball in there. 87th minute, 3 minutes left. But the likes of Gribben and Gomez, these are the guys. He's grabbed the goal, got 2 assists. He's going to walk away with man of the match in an FA Cup final. The lad has done stellar. He really, really has. It's Gribben again on the ball. It's a Schneiderlin, Rashford. Schneiderlin, Pogba. Schneiderlin, will he play Gribben in? Gribben, Rashford. Rashford trying for a hat-trick. He does force a save from Butland. We have managed to get ourselves a corner, but it doesn't look like it'll come to anything. No highlight whatsoever. We're in the 89th minute now with 1 minute added on. We are going to end this season with silverware. 15 seconds to go now. Gribben. He's got 4 men ahead of him. Gribben skins 1, gets the ball took off him full time. We are the winners of the FA Cup, which was an element of expectance against Stoke, but going in half time, 0-0, I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried. I genuinely was. But I am made up after the defeat and the heartache and everything else that came with the defeat at PSG. Winning the FA Cup became so important. We are going to tell the guys passionately, well done. Just going to let Fosu Mensah know that I'm disappointed in him getting sent off. It does fire him up, which is what you'd expect. Juan Mata's very quiet, but he did, of course, play a 6.5, which wasn't very good, it has to say. So I'm going to tell him I'm not happy with his performance. It fires him up also. And yeah, we will head into the news section and just see what appears. Because, of course, we have managed to add ourselves another trophy. So I have been told that the board are delighted with the FA Cup win. From memory, they did only expect us to get to the semis or it was the final, but it was never to win, it was to reach the final. So they're happy with that. It's pleased the board, which is always a good thing. We do want to stay in the job, bearing in mind. And other than that, it was just the generic news items. So we've ended with the Premier League. We won the League Cup. We won the FA Cup. The only thing we missed was the big one, the Champions League, and that's what we're here for. We want to win the Champions League. We want to continue the save on until we do so. So that's season 2 over. We're going to be heading into season 3. I'm going to do a small episode, and I say small, I hope it's small. It's just going to be a quick, here's how the league went, there's how Europe went, here's the squad, here's how the squad have done. Maybe he needs swapping out, maybe he needs swapping out, but I'll just the way I'm thinking through as we go. That's exactly what I'm going to do in the next episode. So tomorrow night will be a little mini review. The night after, we'll be back with season 3 of the Fergie Way. We will have added players, I know that, because we've got 195 million quid to spend, and I want to spend it relatively wisely while trying to still keep these young kids coming through, but maybe add a little bit of world class. That's the thought. So if you have enjoyed this episode, this season, this series, do please consider hitting that like button. It takes just a second. It helps the channel out tremendously. If you're new around here, maybe hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell there, get notified with every new video. We do release content here every night at 7 p.m. So I hope that you'll be here for that little review in the next episode. And other than that, guys, I've been Teach FM, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.